Hello everybody. Welcome to The Scattered Mind. I hope everyone is doing great. Today we are going to discuss about some of the main timelines of World War II. World War II was one of the deadliest and most devastating wars in human history, involving many of the world's major powers and resulting in the loss of millions of lives. It began in 1939 and lasted for 6 years, with many significant events and turning points along the way. September 1, 1939, Germany invades Poland, marking the beginning of World War II. On September 1, 1939, German forces launched a surprise invasion of Poland, using tanks and aircraft to quickly overrun the country. The Polish army was no match for the German military, and within a few weeks, the Polish government was forced to surrender. The invasion of Poland marked the beginning of World War II and was the first step in Hitler's plan to conquer Europe. September 3, 1939, Britain and France declare war on Germany. 2 days after Germany invaded Poland, Britain and France declared war on Germany, fulfilling their promise to come to Poland's defense if it was attacked. The British and French forces mobilized, but were not yet ready for a full-scale war. This marked the beginning of the Western Front, which would become one of the most significant theaters of the war. April 9, 1940, Germany invades Denmark and Norway. In April 1940, Germany launched a surprise attack on Denmark and Norway, hoping to secure access to Norwegian ports and secure its supply of iron ore from Sweden. The Danish army offered little resistance and surrendered within hours. The Norwegian army, with the help of British and French forces, fought back against the German invasion but was eventually defeated. The fall of Denmark and Norway marked the beginning of Germany's domination of the North Sea and the Atlantic. May 10, 1940, Germany invades Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. On May 10, 1940, German forces launched a massive invasion of Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg, in what became known as the Battle of the Low Countries. The Germans quickly overwhelmed the defenders, using their superior tanks and air power to advance rapidly. By May 15, the Germans had captured Brussels and had forced the Dutch and Belgian armies to surrender. The fall of the Low Countries opened up the way for the German army to march into France. June 22, 1940, France signs an armistice with Germany, ending the Battle of France. The Battle of France was a 6-week military campaign in which German forces invaded France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands. The campaign resulted in the defeat of the Allied forces and the eventual surrender of France on June 22, 1940. The Armistice Agreement divided France into 2 zones, with the northern and western parts of the country under German control and the southern part under the control of the French government, at Vichy. September 27, 1940, Japan signs the Tripartite Pact with Germany and Italy, forming the Axis powers. On September 27, 1940, Japan signed the Tripartite Pact with Germany and Italy, forming the Axis powers. The pact was a mutual defense agreement that committed each country to come to the aid of the others, in case of an attack by a country not already involved in the war. With the formation of the Axis powers, World War II became a truly global conflict, with countries from Europe, Asia, and Africa involved. June 22, 1941, Germany launches a surprise invasion of the Soviet Union, beginning the Eastern Front. On June 22, 1941, Germany launched a massive invasion of the Soviet Union, using over 3 million soldiers, tanks, and aircraft. The invasion caught the Soviet Union by surprise, and German forces advanced rapidly, capturing large amounts of territory and inflicting heavy losses on the Soviet military. The Eastern Front would become the largest and bloodiest theater of the war, with millions of soldiers and civilians losing their lives over the course of the conflict. December 7, 1941, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, drawing the United States into the war. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, causing significant damage to the American fleet and killing over 2,000 American servicemen. The attack drew the United States into the war, which up until that point had been primarily a European conflict. President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared war on Japan the following day, and Germany declared war on the United States shortly thereafter. November 8, 1942, Allied forces land in North Africa, beginning the campaign in the Mediterranean theater. In November 1942, Allied forces landed in North Africa, beginning a campaign to push German and Italian forces out of the region. The campaign was led by American General Dwight D. Eisenhower and British General Bernard Montgomery, and it marked the beginning of the Mediterranean theater of the war. The campaign would last for several years and involve some of the most famous battles of the war, including the Battle of El Alamein and the invasion of Sicily. June 6, 1944, Allied forces land in Normandy, France, beginning the invasion of Europe. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces launched a massive invasion of Normandy, France, in what became known as D-Day. The invasion involved over 150,000 soldiers and thousands of ships, and it was one of the largest amphibious assaults in history. The invasion was successful, and Allied forces began to push back against the German army, liberating France and eventually pushing into Germany itself. April 30, 1945, Hitler commits suicide as Allied forces close in on Berlin. As Allied forces closed in on Berlin, Adolf Hitler, the leader of Germany, committed suicide in his bunker on April 30, 1945. With Hitler dead, the German military surrendered on May 7, 1945, bringing an end to the war in Europe. The war in the Pacific continued for several more months, but with Germany defeated, the end of the war was in sight. August 6 and 9, 1945, United States drops atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing over 100,000 people and causing significant damage to the cities. The bombings led to Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, and marked the end of World War II. The war had been the deadliest conflict in human history, with an estimated 70 to 85 million people losing their lives. World War II was a devastating conflict that changed the course of human history. It involved many of the world's major powers and led to the loss of millions of lives. Now, after knowing all this, what do you feel about World War II or any wars? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, please like, share, and subscribe our channel for more videos like this. Until then, goodbye. See you again in another video.